Welcome to bulkreefsupply.com. Today we're going to discuss a method for completely silencing the overflows of your aquarium. This method is becoming more and more popular as reefers try it and discover how nice it is to have a truly silent tank. The method basically involves having two overflow pipes, one of which will be fine-tuned to the exact amount of water being poured into the tank, and the other is there simply for an emergency. If you install your overflow with no modifications at all, it will typically gurgle extremely loudly. This has led to many different types of modifications which limit the amount of air that is taken in and significantly reduce the amount of noise. Even though this greatly reduces the noise, you'll still hear the bubbles as they travel down the overflow and gurgle, then enter down into your sump and gurgle back up through the surface of the water. With this method, we try to do things entirely different by not allowing any air to be sucked into the overflow and creating a full siphon. Typically this would be very dangerous because if a snail or some algae went down your overflow and partially clogged it, the drain would be unable to compensate for the flow and would probably flood onto your floor. That's why in this system you have a secondary overflow, which is higher and will only be used if the first one were to fail. For this demonstration we have removed the black overflow box that would normally cover the pipes. This is our main overflow pipe. Notice it's a little bit shorter. And this will be our emergency overflow pipe. The reason that the main overflow is a little shorter is because we want it to do all of the work. We're going to fine-tune this so it creates a full siphon. We'll do this by using the gate valve. What you're going to do is turn the knob on the gate valve until the capacity of the pipe reaches the exact amount of water being pumped into the aquarium. This will create a full siphon. It won't intake any air and will be completely silent as the water travels down the pipe into the sump. If anything like a snail or algae gets caught in the overflow, it will reduce its capacity to drain water, which would most likely result in water flooding over onto your floor. This is why we position the emergency overflow higher. If anything were ever to happen to the first one, the second one would always be capable of draining the water. Depending on your pump, you may need to adjust the height of your overflow pipe. Because of this, I recommend you use threaded bulkheads and a threaded pipe adapter at the end of your overflow. This allows you to easily unscrew the overflow and make any changes that you may like. If you're unable to drill the bottom of your tank, you can still achieve the same effect utilizing overflows drilled in the back of the tank, as long as one overflow is still lower than the other. I like to use slip 90s for this since they slide directly into bulkheads or other fittings, and they save a significant amount of space. Lastly, the gate valve doesn't necessarily need to be positioned directly under the overflow. It can be in the cabinet underneath the aquarium if you like. A member of our local reef club was kind enough to show me how this works and point me in the direction of the original thread found on Reef Central. There are always ways to tweak and upgrade unique ideas like this. If you are interested in this project, I would go and view the original thread. It can be found on Reef Central and is titled New Plumbing Method for an Ultra-Quiet Reef Tank, Long. And also a big thanks for Herbie for starting the thread and creating such a wonderful project.